dong, I know you can hear me. Open up the door. I only wanna play a little. Ding dong, you can't keep me waiting. It's already too late for you to try and run away. I see you through the window.
Alright, let's take a look around here. Come down here, open up this door. The fortune telling room. Oh yeah, fortune teller's room. Gotcha. Alright, gotta figure out what to do in here. Knock knock. Nope. Gotta light that up, I guess. Nope, can't suck it up. Can't turn off the light. What do you seek of me? Who are you? I am Madame Clairvoyant, seer of dropped items. Possession of other people's awakened vibrations in my spirit. If you find someone's dropped items, you should bring them to me. I will show you the extent of my vision. Okay. Tell me the future. I don't feel spiritual vibrations right now. Dropped items, possession of other people, awakened vibrations, dropped items, bring them to me, I will tell you about them. Sweet, we will do that. Yep, that's a mirror. Means, yep. That's pretty common for mirrors. Whenever you see a mirror, enemies that you normally can see, you now no longer can see. Why? Because they want to use the mirror gimmick. Which I'm told is more difficult to do, because I think it requires a duplication of the character sprite on the other side to get it right. It doesn't actually create a reflection from what I understand. So you're doubling the amount of processing capacity that you have to do, because you're doubling everything. Gotcha, bitch. See if we can double these guys up. Gotcha. Alright, we'll turn the lights back on. Feel the wrath of Kung Bu. Kung Bu. I like Kung Fu. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Fire. 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 Hey now, Luigi, what do you found there? Let's take a look at that. Oh, it's a fire elemental metal. Now use the fire element. Sir, with that you can catch fire elemental ghosts. What's a fire elemental ghost, you ask? They show up whenever you see fire, my boy. They're ghosts with fire in themselves. Something or other. Expel the fire. And you have left. Use fire element to defeat some ghosts. Keep that in mind, Sonny. You don't ever want to run out, I guess. So, we can now use the fire. Suck up the little fire guys. can always tell when the winter's coming. My electric bill goes through the roof. Everything in my house runs on electricity. The lights, the heat, stove, the water heater, everything. So, winter months, things like heating systems start to use up more power than they did in the summertime. And then my electric bill goes from $40 to like $100, and then in the dead of winter I'm paying probably close to 120 bucks a month. So maybe more, maybe less, I don't, I've forgotten since the last time I had to pay my winter electric bill. If she's got anything to say for me. No. Okay, so the fire medal I got doesn't do anything for her. I do know what I do need to do with this fire. I need to go over here and light Mr. Bachelor guy on fire. I want to light his candelabra on fire, which probably unlocks him. Ah, fire! Run away! Run away! Also, that sounds like what's today's? Charles Martinet with his voice, or at least a clip of his voice. We should have gone after the big ghost instead of ignoring it and not following it. I'm gonna have to respawn him, I think. These fucking ghosts. Little mice and bats to just fuck me up. Oh, look at him sprint now. He was nice and slow on his way down. Now all of a sudden he's taking a breakneck run here to this end. Let's go in the door. Oh no, a ghost. Nobody likes ghosts. Yeah, I probably should have gone after the butler ghost again. Instead of trying to take on the little baby ghosts that were in the other room. Aha! I was never really scared of ghosts growing up. Don't know why. It's seems like something I might be afraid of. I was afraid of weird things like house fires. But I always had that little kid mentality when it came to that kind of stuff. Like, I was afraid the house was going to light on fire and I wasn't going to be able to escape. Which I later realized as a older, not only an older child, but as a more capable young adult, that like, if there was a fire in the house, what would be the first thing I would do? That's right, you would grab up your little kids and you would take them outside, you know? Like, I don't know. It was sort of an irrational fear for me because my family was, I don't have any smokers in my family. So the likelihood that, you know, dad or mom is going to fall asleep with a cigarette in her hand and accidentally light the house on fire was 0.0%. Most likely ways the house could have lit on fire was if something electrical happened and it lit something on fire, like a carpet or insulation, even though I'm pretty sure insulation is designed to be sort of fireproof because of that, like fiberglass insulation that is. But I guess I was afraid that there was going to be some sort of spark that was going to cause a fire in the house and we weren't going to get out. And again, thinking about it now, it's very irrational because, again, you know, found you. My name is Luigi. It was very irrational because we had smoke detectors on every floor. So the top of the steps, both leading from the basement to the first floor, and from the first floor to the second floor. Oops, that was a mistake. First floor to the second floor, we had smoke detectors at the top of the step. So if smoke rises, that would have been the first place it would have hit. Plus, we also had one in the kitchen. So if something happened in the kitchen, where it's, you know, there's a stove and it could, you know, grease or whatever catch on fire, you'd be the first to know because, you know, it would hit the smoke detector. And I'm running very low on health right now, so I better watch out. And again, in addition to having sort of a low chance of a house fire, you know, in the middle of the night when I'm not there, or when I'm sleeping, I should say, my parents were like, between their door and the door to me and my brother's room was like maybe 3 steps, maybe 3 very regular people steps. Like, not even like, I really gotta get down this hallway as fast as I can, strides. So the likelihood that my parents would have left me and my brother in my room when there was a house fire is probably close to 0%. But again, I realize now how irrational it was. Some of that I think comes with being having a new perspective on it. You know, not only being older, but when my mom and dad had my younger sister and brother, I remember thinking to myself in the house, like, you know, if there was a fire, the first thing I would do is make sure that I had my brother and sister. Like, me and my brother, younger brother, they're all younger than me, but me and the older of my 2 brothers would, you know, we'd make sure that at the very worst, you know, my youngest siblings got out of the house safe. And it's like, then I realized, oh, yeah, my parents would have done that for me because they're my parents. They're not, if I can do that for my little sister and brother, why the fuck wouldn't they do it for me when I was young? And, you know, Now mind you, my brother Steven, he was afraid of real things like vampires and mummies, werewolf men. You know, things that actually should scare children. I can tell you exactly why my brother's afraid of vampires. It's because he watched the Simpsons special where Mr. Burns is playing essentially a Dracula-esque character. He turns Bart into a vampire, and then, you know, the story sort of ends happily, but they put a little bit of a Simpsons twist on it, where at the end, Homer and Marge jump up and they go, "Oh no, Mr. Burns wasn't the head vampire, I'm the head vampire." And then at the end, it ends with them doing the Charlie Brown, you know, Christmas. Because it's supposed to be funny, but it wasn't funny to my brother, who was much younger then. He was very afraid of vampires after that. I was afraid of mummies briefly, but not for very long, because I was convinced that they lived in Egypt, so it would take them way too long to get to where we were. And I wasn't really afraid of any of the other MGM monsters, because I wasn't aware of the creature of the Black Lagoon, and I wasn't afraid of a Frankenstein because, I don't know, it seemed kind of silly to me. Witches, I didn't understand them well enough to be afraid of them. Like, because you always see, like, cute little witches like, you know, Wendy or whatever, and they're usually silly characters. They're not usually the actual witches that'll put curses on you and, you know, boil you, and, you know, brides of Satan, if you will. Which I know, if you're one of the Wiccan people, you know, you'll probably say, well, that's an old fairy tale, you know, witches didn't do that kind of stuff. It's just... But I'm talking in terms of horror fiction. I'm not talking about, like, Wiccans or real-life witches or whatever. Communing with nature. But... And then the Wolfman, that was another one. No one really cared about the Wolfman, because Wolfman had one very unique weakness, which was he could only appear during a full moon. And me and my brother were generally not out at night of a full moon because we were kids, you know? So, why would I be afraid of that? And then, you know, typical little boy fashion, you know, all of the people that should be scary, like Freddy and Jason, back when those movies were sort of at their peak before they started getting really dumb. You know, everyone thought Freddy and Jason were really awesome, and it'd be really awesome if Freddy and Jason could fight, and it wouldn't be a terrible movie. Whatever, right? Had alien toys, and, well, I didn't have any alien toys, but, you know, aliens and predators, that was all out. Those were cool action figures that you'd own instead of be afraid of. The conservatory is where you put all of your musical instruments, I guess. I don't know what a conservatory is. I mean, I tell based on context clues it's a music room, but, you know, you could just as easily say that, well, this conservatory is this room we call a conservatory is filled with plants, you know? We're trying to... the hothouse or whatever, but I don't know. In billiard room, that makes sense. You know, study, makes sense. Dining room, lounge, other blue-related places, makes sense. Hallway doesn't make sense in that game, but we're gonna ignore that for a second. This ragamuffin looks like he couldn't even play a note. Well, that's an easy enough hint. I just need to make these... have to play one of these musical instruments, or make the musical instruments play themselves. Figure out how to do that, though. Sucking and blowing is not causing the wind instruments to be wind instruments. Drums are not affected by this thing. I need to take stuff to make them play music. And apparently I need more than just a xylophone. Bum, bum, bum.
Mario?
Mario! Apparently I'm missing an instrument. Oh, there's a cello? Is that a cello? My name is Melody. People call me Special Beauty of Music. I've been charmed in ages. Must have delicate ear for music. Would you like to hear my sonata? Well, here I go. That's the sky music. Oh, whoops. That was the water music. Oh, I got them flip-flopped. Mario 1, oh boy. Alright, let's see if we can repop the puzzle, or if I gotta leave this room. Yeah, let's restart the musical instruments again. This time I think we'll be better. Oh, that's Mario 3. Bump bump. That was a very short version of that song. Whatever. Nope, not in the first two, it's in 3. Not in World, it's not in 1, it's not in 2. Okay, we're gonna fight this girl now in her floating musical stages. Gotcha. Just remember, people, you decide that you're going to jump into, do a backflip or jump into something. First of all, you're gonna make it all the way over. Can't go 50%. You gotta go 100% on a backflip or a front flip. And two, even if you do go 100% on a backflip or a front flip, or if you land on your belly or you land on your back, even if it's a foam pit or a pool of water, you can still injure yourself. You are not immune because you're jumping into a pile of pillows to injure yourself. So don't do that. That's not smart. So, I hate to say this, I'm recording this episode on the 10th of October, just to give you an idea. And unfortunately, I saw over the weekend my first Christmas ad of the year. Now, this isn't a quote-unquote normal Christmas ad for, you know, presents or cars or perfumes or, you know, the typical stuff you might see in like late November or early December. But rather, it was a advertisement for an upcoming movie where I'm guessing, let me go back from there, I'm guessing Santa Claus is gonna beat the shit out of a bunch of people. The commercial starts with Santa Claus in a bar, and the bartender says, "I don't think you should be driving." He says, "Well, the reindeer do most of the driving anyway, so it's not that big of a deal." And then it cuts to this multiracial family, and apparently, I guess they're really rich because these criminals, like, you know, for every one person, there's like 2 criminals. That kind of remind me a little bit of like a con artist, or, you know, the people that do sort of bank, you know, these very elaborate bank heists. They're like, "We're here to rob you, you know, And all we want for Christmas is $5 million that you have in your safe. Well, I'm guessing what happens based on the rest of the trailer that I watch is that Santa Claus comes to deliver the presents at this kid's house, and one of the people that are part of this oh, gotta clean this up. Never good to have banana peels on the floor. Oh, that guy's fat. Anyway, getting back to my story. Apparently, one of these robber guys, while Santa Claus is coming to... Oh, this guy's got an icy cord on him, so I gotta light him on fire, I think. He punches Santa Claus, and then I'm guessing from the rest of the trailer that Santa Claus just like kind of kicks these guys' ass or something, or kind of goes like, whatever on them. Yep, that's a punch in the face. Oh, that was the movie I was thinking of. John Wick. It was all John Wick on them. Well, I guess they need people to go see this movie, so they're hyping it up now in the hopes that you'll go see it in, like, whenever it comes out. I'm guessing December, early December. Rated R, so that means that there's gonna be, probably a lot of, fucks given. And, yeah. That'll be great. I won't see it, but it'll be great, I'm sure. I sometimes wonder how movies like that can, like, with clearly terrible plots can get greenlit. And yet, like, studios can't take a chance on like a more down-to-earth serious film. Gotta have some big name actors in it. Gotta have some drawing power. You can't just, I don't know. Yeah, let's go outside. Gotta wait for the door to stop being smoky there, Chris. Hey doggy, I'm gonna vacuum you up too. For the love of dirt. Skelly Man's gonna get vacuumed up instead. Oh, he dropped a bone. Means Mr. Doggo is gonna go after the bone, right? Now I'm gonna vacuum him up. Sorry, dog, I got you in the corner. Sparkles in the doghouse. Don't shake it. That doesn't work either. Mario, are you here, Mario? Oh, something here wiggling. I can't vacuum it up. Oh, it's a plant. It needs watering.